Matt, you came into boxing late, and you always said that when you came into this game, you came into it for world titles, which you've got on the 19th of January. What was it like, though, when you got that call saying it's definitely on?
Well, initially, Frank got in contact with me and the team saying there's a possibility that we could possibly make the fight. There was a lot of terms and conditions, and we needed to get together. When I did, and I was a bit, the terms and conditions I was a bit sceptical about. And Frank said this is the only way the fight's going to get made, because they're obviously looking at it as a voluntary defence for him. So we sat down, spoke about it, and we said, look, you need to go out and get this world title, and then hopefully things can change. So when I initially got it, I came away there thinking, have I done the right thing in that? And then I think, well, of course I have. Why am I questioning it? Because ultimately it's a world title. If I believe I can beat this guy, then we can sit down and talk about things afterwards. So after a while it set in, and then I thought, right, let's just get focused and get training. And it was great. Yeah, it's a great feeling. You sit down and you think some of the names that fought for the WBA, and to be among that in itself is lovely, and I'm trying not to let that faze me, if you want, because ultimately it's a fight which I need to get over first.
What were some of the conditions you were sceptical about? I mean, certainly going to Germany is probably one of them.
Yeah, and also they wanted to tie me up in fights afterwards and whatnot, and that was the main concern, really. Not so much the initial kind of like fight, but and the finances involved. It was one of my first concerns, but then afterwards, it was after that, wanted to tie me up in long-term contracts and X amount of fight deals, and I thought it gives me nowhere for me to go. They're kind of like truly not. We sat and then I spoke with Frank, and he says, well, if you get this fight, then we could sit down and talk about things again. So, with his reassurance, I went in and done the contract.
Frank Warren calls you the Bruce Forsyth of boxing, and obviously he's referring to your age there. And I know that you're tired of talking about it, but just let's quickly go over it in terms of people. The question is, at your age, do you have the energy? Do you have the stamina? Do you still have, the skill factor? Can you still deliver the skill factor to win a world title?
Well, hopefully. I mean, people might question the skill factor. They might say you never had it anyway. But yeah, I think energy, fitness-wise, the will to win is still there, 100%. I'm training hard. We're really. I remember when we said about this fight, I said to Kevin, when I get in the gym, I want you to put me through what I've never been through. I want to be scared to come to the gym, and he's been doing that, and it's been going well. I don't want to tempt fate. It's been going according to plan. The sparring's been good. Normally I pick up little niggles, little injuries, and that hasn't happened this time. We're really, and I'm thinking, is it? I'm so focused that any little thing like that I'm overcoming, and that I'm trying to have my proper rest days. It's all been going well, and I don't think my age is going to affect me in any way or form. I think it's going to help me.
We speak about age, but I mean, at 40, should it be such a big deal? Hopefully
not. I mean, they say life begins at 40, but I think in general, people, nowadays, we're living longer. People are just, I don't know about healthier, but I think people's mindset has changed. There are a lot of, you go out into the kind of social environment, whereas if you were out before, sort of, I don't know, 30 years ago, and you bumped into someone of 40s, like, they shouldn't be out, they should be at home with their pipe and slippers. And I think that concept's changed. I think it is a mindset. I think people are doing more. Even if you look, women are not even considering having children until in their mid-30s. They're going to get a career, but no one's saying that's late. It might be late from a health point of view if it is a risk to their body, but it's not late as in terms, whereas, I had my first daughter young, and I see some young girls now with kids, and I think, wow, how can I have a kid at that age? But at the same time, I think our minds change, and I don't think we should put so much of an emphasis on people's ages.
Let's talk about Chigayev. What is it about his style that makes you think you have the beating of him?
I think he comes to fight, and I think he comes forward. He models himself. Whether he models himself or his idol is Mike Tyson, they call him the White Mike Tyson. So if that is the case, he'll come to fight, and I think that's what suits me. I think I need someone to come to fight. I don't need a guy who's going to be on the back foot, look at the jab and move, and I think that kind of frustrates me, and it makes for a bad fight. And it's touch and go. I think, yeah, let's face it, it doesn't matter how you dress, it's a fight. And if he's come to fight and I've come to fight, that's what you're going to get. It's going to be, if it gets a bit rough in there, if it gets, and I think looking at his fights, he does like to mix up a bit, and the referees probably know that's what he's about. So hopefully if it gets like that in there, from my point of view, they're willing to let it go and let the fight see itself out, really, rather than, sometimes when I fought over here, I've been penalised a lot because of my style and coming in this way and that way. And hopefully if they're letting it go over there for him, they'll do the same for me.
Matt Skelton, WBA heavyweight champion of the world. How does that sound?
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. And, it's a dream come true. And, I'm a week and a bit away of making it a reality. And I know that, like I said, I don't want to tempt fate between now and then. No injuries, no illnesses, I believe my destiny is in my hands, and I believe I can make that come true. I really do. And I've always said I don't want to just say, yeah, I fought for a world title. I want to go and say, I fought for a world title and I won that world title, and I want to bring it back.
Thanks, Matt.